Welcome everyone to the Main Event Status Sports Show. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. This show, of course, is brought to you by Haps TV. If you haven't done so, download the Haps app. Subscribe so you get notified each and every time I go live. Yes, this should be multicasted to Facebook and multicasted to Twitter and YouTube, but Haps is a place to be. Why? Because when I go live, you can comment and I can present your comments on the screen. So make sure you do that. And then sign up. You also get some coins. And when you sign up and get those coins, guess what happens, folks? I will then be able to, you get the coins, you share them, you can support the broadcast, help me out, help me reach my goal. So shout out to everybody who survived the AFC Championship game. Maybe if you're like me, you were kind of a little tired after the NFC Championship game because what a game that was, coming down to the wire, kind of, sort of, maybe not. And the AFC ended up being a blowout, unfortunately. Pablo says it's going to be a boring Super Bowl. Wow, really? Okay. I don't know about that. Mike Patton's offense will be aplenty. I'm sitting here. Congrats to Mahomes. He has the opportunity to do what the only Tom Brady has done in the past, 20 years? And let's go back-to-back and win it. We all know Russell Wilson went back-to-back, and he was one bad play away, which was a boring Super Bowl, might I add. But he was one bad play away from repeating. For him, unfortunately, he couldn't get it done. So that was it sucked for him. But now I think obviously we're gonna have some Super Bowl shows and predictions and appearances all leading up to it where we actually break down the game. But if I had to do a main event status early pick, it would easily be the Chiefs. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on. Chris B, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. Really looking forward to seeing what happens. This was a game that, I said this on Twitter at Brian H. Waters. What was his name? Harmon? I forgot his name that fast. When he fumbled the ball and the Bills went up, they scored the touchdown and they missed the extra point or whatever. Did they go for 2? But either way, they missed the extra point. But when they went up, I said, you know what? I don't know about that. We've seen this before. We know what happens with Kansas City. And I said, this game is nowhere near over. They're going to have to go out there and pour it on. And that's what they didn't do. Then he comes back out. And the next thing you know, he scores again. He scores, and I'm like, this is the same guy who fumbled, and then he scores a touchdown. Oh, they're getting him involved. And then he had that big play that broke open the game. Before I knew it, it was 21-9. It was 21-9. Mike Patton says the biggest age gap between starting quarterbacks in NFL Super Bowl history. Bills cannot run the ball. That's how you knew the Chiefs were going to be just fine. Yeah, and obviously I saw last week, everybody thought, well, maybe they didn't even want to attempt to run the ball because simply what they saw what the Ravens did with Derrick Henry, and really it was that momentum shifted because Josh Allen didn't look great. If we could be real, the Bills didn't look as hot as they did in the last few games of the season. They did not look that hot in the playoffs. Yeah, they was a couple of plays away, a couple of miscues away from losing to the Colts. Obviously, Justin Tucker missed the field goal. Lamar Jackson's offense was predictable thanks to Greg Roman. So they was able to take advantage of that, pick the ball off, and take it to the house. That made it 17, and that shifted the momentum. The defense did what they had to do. They neutralized Lamar Jackson. But then they come to Kansas City, and they just couldn't do the same. So when you really think about it, they did not look super great. They did look bad, but they didn't look great. It says Chiefs rush Allen strong on his right side, and that folded a lot of the offense this game. Bingo! And that's exactly what they did. And then Mahomes just picked them apart. And I mean, let's be real, y'all. He got weapons. He do. I'm wondering how long that Kansas City will be able to keep up this culture. Um, I know me personally, I don't like dynasties if it's not my team. But in this case, I'd rather not see Tom Brady win number 7. So I'm easily rooting for the Chiefs. And I don't want to see him win no more. I don't. I don't want to see them win no more. I don't dislike Mahomes, but players like, man, it would be nice to see somebody catch up with Brady, but that's not happening no time soon. Of course, we all would love to see our favorite players do so, but I mean, what the Patriots did was just unreal. It was unreal. Nobody does stuff like that. And to play this long, you got to give credit to Tom Brady where credit is due. To play this long and to be able to go out there and stay on top of his game, it's phenomenal, without a shadow of a doubt. But I just don't see it happening. If you're on Twitter, go ahead, hit the retweet button on Haps News or on my feed. Let the people know. Let's jump in here, have a conversation. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about what's going on. The Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl. I think it's cool. It is cool. Obviously, I would much rather see a couple other teams in there before them. But to see the changing of the guard, that's what we get ready to get. Now, will the old dog prove he's still the GOAT and take out the young guy, that young lion, or will that young lion come up? If I'm going to just put this out there in the universe and we'll see what happens. If I could and I had the time to do it, I might take the Ravens and I might take the Mahomes Brady poster and take, kind of morph it from the Hogan and Rock poster. I might do that. We'll see. Unlike the NBA, NFL has parity. Parity is good. Boris Cuba, what up, Boris? Appreciate you joining in. Boris, you gotta get the Haps app, bro. That way, I can present your stuff on screen. You'll get coins. You can support the broadcast. You get 100 coins signed up. That's free. Just support all the broadcasters. Unpopular opinion, but I think the Chiefs walk away with it. Pablo, that's not an unpopular opinion, to be honest with you, because when I really think about it, my early thoughts of this game is who is going to stop the little guy from Kansas City? Who's going to stop him? Who's going to stop Travis Kelce? I mean, and that's another thing. We got the old tight end versus the new tight end, Gronk versus Kelce. And then you got Brady versus Mahomes. Man, this is going to be phenomenal. This is, as much as I didn't want to see this matchup, it's going to be fun. It's the conversations that's going to come up around this. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of the commentary right here on Haps TV. Definitely looking to include, get on some shows, include some of my brothers and sisters on here who love to talk sports. So I'm very excited about this. But, like I said, as I look over it, I just think it's very interesting that, man, my Facebook is still trying to connect. No. All right, we'll see. Let's see. I can't do. Yeah, but I think it's definitely gonna be very interesting to see what happens as we move forward. Andy Reid, how about him? Andy Reid is the championship game king. I gotta check. I think he's probably been in more championship games than anybody. All right, yeah, he says I'm here now. But yeah, he's in more championship games than been in more championship games than anybody. He has a chance to right that wrong. That Super Bowl that got away. Who was the quarterback? Tom Brady. He could win that Super Bowl and avenge it, Tom Brady. I know a lot of Patriots fans out there rooting for Tom Brady. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Nobody's bitter about him leaving, and then all of a sudden calling Gronk, all right, Gronk, we ain't got to deal with Belichick no more. You can come out of retirement. I wonder how Bill Belichick feels. His guy is not in the Super Bowl. His guy's in the Super Bowl without him. All this talk, all these years, I'm one of them. I always felt that Tom Brady benefited from having the same coach. So Man, but that the AFC Championship game, let's just admit it was boring. It was. Josh Allen didn't look like Josh Allen that everybody the next coming. Yeah, the Bills are going to be okay to watch. I think no, seriously, I think they'll be fun to watch. Want to see how they bounce back. It's got to be heartbreaking to get this far. Are they going to be like the Titans? What are they going to address? I don't know what their team's free agency look like. I know that free agency is going to change a lot of teams, so I'm interested to see what their free agency look like. Oh, so and Mike brought this up. Don't know what while no one is talking about it. Why isn't anyone mentioning it? Andy Reid could potentially retire, and he says if they. I'm assuming he means if they win the Super Bowl. And you know what? That could be a blessing in disguise, Mike. We keep talking about Eric Bieniemy not getting his opportunities, not getting his fair reviews, right? His fair interviews. What if he just sticks around and gets this Kansas City Chiefs job? What if? I mean, that would be phenomenal. So, I mean, only time will tell, but you kind of got to root for it for that to happen. And I just realized the title of this show wasn't finished. Uh, so yeah, that's what I want to see what happens. Um, and I think considering how crazy this year was, how cool is it that with everything going on, with COVID going on, how cool is it that we're going to get the Patriots? I mean, I keep calling when I say Patriots. I'm thinking about Tom Brady. We're getting Brady versus Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Mike says, while no one's okay, if they win but enemy take over. Oh, it didn't come all the way through. That's what happened. He did benefit and learn from him. Now is using it with more weapons. I'm assuming you're talking about Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. But I mean, now Antonio Brown, he gets another opportunity. We'll see what happens with him. We'll see what happens with we'll see what happens with the rest of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They get to host the Super Bowl. That's something that's never been done before. So I think that part is cool. But the coolest thing is it's the young versus the old. Like as cool as Mahomes versus Rodgers would have been, Brady versus Mahomes is more box office. Let's be real. We never got Tyson versus Ali. We never got Jack Johnson versus Muhammad Ali. We never got Babe Ruth versus Mike Trout. We never got Ken Griffey Jr. versus Hank Aaron. We did get Rock versus Hogan, and now we're going to get Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes. We never got Brady versus Montana. So that's something that's really cool as I look forward to the Super Bowl. Like I said, I know a lot of the conversation is going to be so much fun as we look forward to it. This movie has already been written. The GOAT wins, but comes back next year with those weapons. Why not? Wow, really? You think so? You got him winning and then coming back next year? Okay, we'll see. Bannerman, that's Bannerman. Of course, you got Brady winning. Your profile picture and Boris's profile picture in the comments. I just saw the from a distance. It looked like they was. Let me pull my computer screen closer. Looked like they were both black and white, but I couldn't see it because that window wasn't expanded. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's so soon to tell. It is, folks. It's so soon to tell. I do like this opportunity, though. I'm interested in the coaching matchup. Bruce Arians versus Andy Reid. Andy Reid was always known as a choke artist. Was known as somebody who couldn't manage the clock. And now all of a sudden he's looked at as this genius. And they're talking about him as like his coaching tree, which I always respected him. But now this is all we're hearing. The Super Bowl is definitely a sea of red too. And it's gonna be a good warm weather down there in Tampa, and I'm not really excited about them allowing that many fans in. But shout out to the NFL for giving the first responders and healthcare workers an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl for free. Come on now, that's the graphics. That's the graphics of my show. So let's see. But yeah, I'm gonna get ready to wrap things up. It's been a long day. Like I said, shout out, congratulations to Patrick Mahomes boys and the Mahomes. No, congratulations to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. If you're out there, make sure you subscribe to the show. Make sure you help me out. Drop some coins. You can drop an award, just 10 cents award on the Haps app with the coins or whatever. To holler at me. And the more you log in, I don't know if y'all know this, but the more you log in, the more coins you get. So you can use that to support other great broadcasters on this program. So yes, I'm a Pats fan, but I'm not going with the Chiefs here. So, we'll see. But everybody, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate all y'all. I'll see y'all this week. Oh, wait a minute before I go. Says, with those weapons, why would you retire? Patrick Mahomes is good, but never count out the GOAT. That's true. As Julio Jones and the Falcons. I've always said that. I remember Mohamed Sanu tried to tell that sideline, don't do that. Don't count them out. And what did they do? They counted them out. And what happened? They're a meme. 28-3. 28-3. So long, everybody.